Hi, and welcome back to a little bit of Calm and Crazy. My name is Jennifer, and today I am sharing with you 2 larger DIYs and 2 little mini DIYs, and I hope that you enjoy them. A couple of weeks ago, I shared a little picket fence DIY, and I got the picket fence from the 99-cent only store, and I felt horrible that so many of you don't have access to that store, and I knew immediately that I wanted to be able to recreate it and make it so much more accessible. And so that's exactly what I'm sharing with you today. And then last week I shared with you a really cute little window that I created using a Dollar Tree sign, but I used a bandsaw. And again, not everyone has access to power tools. So I wanted to make it much more simpler for everyone to be able to recreate it themselves. And I think I accomplished that in a way that I hope everyone will be satisfied. But I couldn't leave them plain, so of course I did a couple Dollar Tree DIYs to dress them up, and I hope that you love all 4 of these really fun DIYs today. If you are new to my channel, hello and welcome. I would love it if you would introduce yourself in the comments below. If you have not hit that subscribe button, make sure that you do. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure that you are following me on Instagram. It's a little bit of Calm and Crazy over there, just like it is here. And let's go ahead and just jump right on into it. For both the picket fence as well as the window, I'm using these paint stir sticks. I have these taller stir sticks that come in a pack of 3, as well as the regular size stir sticks that come in packs of 10. I grabbed these from Home Depot, but of course you can get them from Lowe's or other home repair stores. Now you can find them online on Amazon, but you have to get them in larger bulk. So if you have a larger project, then that might be something to look into. But these were 98 cents each. So to start off, I am going to lay out everything for the fence so that I know exactly what it is that I need. So I'm using 2 of the taller paint stir sticks, and then I am laying out this regular size one so that I know exactly how many that I need that I'm going to keep at their regular size and how many I'm going to cut off and exactly how much I'm going to cut off on each of these. So 4 I will leave alone, and 6 of them I will cut 2 inches off of. And while I am at it, I'm also cutting another 4 down 2 inches for the window, since I know that I will also need to have 2 inches off of that. So here you see that I'm just scoring 2 inches off of the end. It does have a ruler on it, and I'm just using my box cutter in order to do that. And I just go back and forth until I'm able to score that. And here I'm kind of raising it up and testing it out and seeing if I can get that to go down. And I'm just kind of taking my time to do that. And then I have a little bit left on the stir stick, and I go back in with my box cutter, and I'm just taking it over and seeing if I can get that off, and I go back in with my box cutter again just until I can do it. I'm just taking my time to do it and trying to be careful. I'm working with a blade, and I don't want to ever rush it so that I don't hurt myself. Once that's done, I just go in with my sandpaper in order to smooth that. Altogether for both projects, I am doing 10 of these. I have, again, 6 for the fence and 4 for the window. Now, if you do happen to have access to something like a bandsaw, it would still be faster than using a box cutter, but I know not everyone does, so I absolutely want to give alternatives for people that don't have access to something like that. And this is definitely something that does work, and so I wanted to show you how it works. So it's not too hard. You just have to have a little bit of patience and a little bit of time, but it will absolutely get the job done. For the centerpiece of the window, I need to take one of the stir sticks and I need to cut it in half. So I'm using the clear ruler so that you can get a better visual of that. The stir stick is 1 inch in its width, and so each piece will be a half of an inch, again using the box cutter. Because of the way that the wood is put together, the way that the wood grains are in this fake wood, I don't even know how to explain that exactly. This is so easy. It almost just splits in half after you go through it just a few times with the box cutter. As you can see here, to see it's just really splitting in half. Now, one of these pieces you will need to cut 2 inches off of so that it will match the width of the window and match the other 4 pieces that you have already cut. And then you will have all of your pieces ready in order to assemble your window. Before I start painting everything, I want to make sure that I have all of my parts, so I am placing everything together, making sure everything is exactly the way I want it and that it all lines up
And then once I'm sure that it is, now I'm going in with my Waverly chalk paint in Ivory, and I'm going to be painting both all the pieces for the fence as well as all the pieces for the window using that chalk paint. I'm painting all the sides, the backs, the tops, everything. Once I have painted everything, I set it all aside, I let it dry, and once it's completely dried, and then I can go in and I can start assembling my fence and my window. For the fence, I'm starting off with my 2 longer pieces on the bottom, and I am using the ruler in order to make sure that my spacing is where I want them. They are 4.5 inches apart, and I'm using the Gorilla Glue in order to place both end stir sticks on first in order to go ahead and keep those 2 pieces together, if that makes sense. I wanted those to be my anchoring pieces so that I can then go in with the middle pieces and go ahead and eyeball those to create kind of the equal spacing. If you want to measure that out, you can, but I just found it a whole lot easier to just kind of eyeball it out. And so I went in with on both ends were my taller stir sticks. So I went tall, short, short, tall, short, short, tall, short, short, tall. One thing that I did want to point out is that my stir stick that is on the second from the right hand side is hanging off just a little bit, where you see that there's that little dip in or the handle part of the stir stick, and that's because I want all of my top stir sticks to be even, and I didn't want it to be up a little bit. So that's just one thing I wanted to note to you. I'm trying to fold the eye just a little bit because that is something different with this wood because of those handle parts. It's really cute on the picketed part, but on this part I did want to kind of manipulate the eye and try to fold the eye that it's not there. Once you have glued everything and given it time to set up and dry, now it is time to go in with my second chalk paint, which is the Waverly chalk paint in Mineral. I love this color. And now I'm going to give this a little bit of a distressed look with a dry brush. I just take it all around all the different pickets and all the different edges, and I just really love the way that it brings the entire look together. I am just using a light hand, and as I go through, if I want to add more in certain places, I absolutely can. And just remember that you can always add more, but it's harder to take it away. So go in with a light hand and then add as you need. Now it's time to assemble my window. So I am taking my shorter stir sticks. So these are the ones I have cut 2 inches off of, and on the sides are my stir sticks that I have not touched at all. These are just the regular size ones. And I'm just placing everything so that I get the placement first before I go in with any glue, and getting everything lined up exactly where I want it. And of course, I'm going in with the ruler to make sure that I have equal spacing on my window. Once I have everything lined up, now I can go in with my wood glue and I can start gluing things down. So I like to just remove the sides very carefully and then add my glue to my 3 middle parts first. I place my sides right back so that I don't try very carefully not to move anything, and just line all of that up, and then slide everything over to try not to mess that up. And then I go back in, I double check with my ruler to see if I moved anything along, and now I can go back in and I can add my center strip right into the middle. Now I do kind of eyeball this one instead of measuring it out, because now I can kind of get an idea of the 4 squares or 4 rectangles and see if they match up. And now I'm adding on my top piece to kind of give that finishing look, and I'm doing the same thing with the bottom piece. Now again, these are the 2 that I have cut 2 inches off of, and I just feel like these are like finishing touches. They kind of just finish it off. Again, I'm going in once this has dried with that same Mineral chalk paint and giving this that distressed look, going in with a very light hand and just taking it to the edges. Remember, you can always add more, but you can't take away, and I just love taking this to the edges of this and just really like the look that it gives. I love the possibility for both of these projects, but today I'm going to share 2 really simple Dollar Tree DIYs with you so that you can dress them up for Easter. For the first project, you're going to need some twine as well as some ribboned eggs. The Dollar Tree has about 3 different options for this. Start by taking one end of the twine and tie a knot, leaving a loop. And then take the other end of your twine and thread through the ribbon of your eggs. It is as simple as that. Once you are done threading through all of your eggs, you will tie another knot on the other end of your twine. What is great about this project is you can make it as short or as long as you want. If you are hanging it along your fence, you will just need one package of 12 eggs. I think this looks so cute hanging along the fence, and I love the fact that it is not hot glued onto the fence so that you can use this for other projects in the future. I would love to know what you think, so please leave me a comment down below. Moving on to the second project, you will need some reindeer moss, some rope, and some more twine. Take your rope and just make sure that it is doubled looped, and then use some hot glue in order to close that off and keep it nice and secure. Then you are going to take your hot glue all the way around the rope and binding the two loops together. After that, take a piece of twine, tie a knot, and then you are going to take your twine around your rope, loop it through, and this is so that you can hang your wreath after it is completed. So I wouldn't have any big chunks of moss. I went in with my scissors and I just cut up the moss so that it would be a little bit finer. And then I went in with my hot glue in small sections on my rope. I added on both layers of the rope, and then I went in with the moss, placed it on the rope, and I kept this pattern going all the way around the rope. So small hot glue, some moss, hot glue, some moss, until I went all the way around. After I went all the way around, I went in with my scissors and I trimmed up both the outside as well as the inside of the wreath. And then I went back in and I added more hot glue and more moss in places that I thought that it needed it. And then I went back in with my scissors and I trimmed up, and I just repeated that pattern. If I thought it needed more moss in any place, I added more moss, and I kept trimming until I got the look that I wanted. So I have these 3 eggs from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going in with hot glue and just attaching them all to the wreath. And then once they are attached, I'm actually going to flip it over so that I can make sure that they are extra secure onto the back, where I can get them with a little extra hot glue. And then I just let them set up and let the hot glue completely set. And once they set, then I add them to the window. Now, I don't want to attach this to the window, so it is actually taped onto the back, but I think that this looks so cute. Again, it can be used for so many different decor things. I would love to know what you think. Here is one more look at everything. I would love to know, how would you decorate these? So leave that for me in the comments below, because I am sure we'd all love to hear everyone else's ideas too. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you do before you go. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. See you in the next one. Bye.